What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to day 5 of our 15-day adventure going up to and through Bash to the Future. If you didn't see yesterday's video, go check it out. If you're too lazy to do that or you just don't have the time, then I'm going to give you a quick rundown right here. It was a short day for us, but we definitely made some solid progress. The front of Michael's car is definitely starting to take shape, which is awesome. We got the radiator in. We got some hoses made up. We're gonna be working on this front radiator support. We also got the hood, and a couple days ago we got his fenders on. Just to re-clarify, these are not gonna be the fenders that Michael is running permanently. He is going Origin 75 mils from Wolverine Motors, but the budget just wasn't gonna allow for it before Bash to the Future. So we'll be scooping those up before Hot August Nights, and hopefully Michael's car will be all one color for that event. Bash to the Future is definitely going to be a fun one. It is going to be a test run for this, and I mean, I haven't driven this but once in 4 years. It's going to be a big curve. It's a fun track. I've spent a decent amount of time watching both Michael and when we went to Cold Winter Nights, which if you haven't seen that video, right there. But like I said, today we're going to be putting together Michael's bash bar. I was also debating, you might have seen it on my Instagram or also in the last video, but I'm gonna wrap this bumper. I think I finally set my mind to it. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint all the holes in the bumper black. That'll save me a bit of a headache trying to wrap inside of those holes. And I really like how the rear bumper turned out with the license plate cutout being black. I also like how I painted the bottom of the bumper black. That made life a little easier, and I think it looks pretty nice too. Today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that painted. While that's drying, I'll come over here and I'm gonna put some work in on Michael's car. I wanna put a little bit of work into the interior, just getting things cleaned up on my car. And more than likely, we won't be wrapping this bumper today, but I'm thinking that if we get it painted today, tomorrow morning we can get here around the same time as we did today. We can get this bumper wrapped up and then dive back into Michael's car. But we're just gonna have to see how the day goes. If I don't get to wrapping this bumper, I am 100% fine sending it with no front bumper. I think I have just enough vinyl to get that bumper wrapped, and it looked pretty awesome with it on the car. So we'll see what we can do. A couple of coats of paint down on the cutouts. I gotta do the bottom still, but I'm gonna wait until this dries a little bit so I can flip it over and deal with that then. I've also got to drill out these so I can wrap it, but I'll probably put those back on and continue to use them as bumper latches. Instead of just standing around watching paint dry, we're gonna get started on Michael's tube front. What I've done is I've measured out this radiator, figured out where I want the starts of my bends with our little gauge here. We're gonna do about 2 inches in on both sides, and then I still have to determine the actual bend angle. I'm gonna go get a piece cut up so we can place this in here, start to see this thing take shape, and figure out what bend degree we need. All right, well, I'm getting pretty fucking frustrated today. Got Michael's radiator support done. Bent up at least. I did kind of fuck up twice, actually. Piece on the ground down there. I knew exactly what I did and I was able to fix it, but then on the second one my bends were kind of offset, which I thought I had it pretty good, but apparently I didn't. So I'm kind of disappointed in myself about that. And then right now I'm just having trouble wrapping my head around notching that. You know, I'm overthinking it, I'm sure. Plus there's a lot of different variables that go into it that could really fuck things up. So I think I'm gonna just let Michael deal with the notching. I know that's what I said I was gonna do yesterday, but when I got here I wanted to have this done by the time he got here so that it could kind of surprise him. He could have that weight lifted off his shoulders, but that's just not gonna happen. I just laid a coat of black along the base and a second coat on the vents. Quickly losing motivation today. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I can't wrap my head around that radiator support, or I'm lonely or what, but I really just kind of want to go home. I'm not going to do that because I know that there's still a lot of stuff to do, so I'm going to just work on my car for a little bit, get the interior finalized. I've got a couple more wires I need to zip tie up and just clean up the passenger running board. I have to switch out my passenger seat belts because I accidentally installed Michael's into my car. The ones that I had were like from a Maxima instead of an S13, so they aren't as nice, and so I'm gonna take mine out. Kinda sucks. I wish I had realized it before I put my whole interior back together, because now I gotta pull the whole interior out on the passenger side to get this fucking seatbelt out. I'm gonna work on that for a little bit, probably grab some lunch, hopefully on a full stomach and shit like that. We can do something a little more fun, a little more productive. Oh fuck, it was so totally worth the 6 fucking hours I just spent wrapping that bumper. Again, like the rest of the car, don't get too close. Maybe I'll get a livery on it that says like stand back 40 feet or like, you know, stay back 50 feet or whatever it is, 200 feet. Whatever they have on like the back of ambulances. I might have to get some of those because don't get too close. This wrap looks terrible if you really inspect it, but it's a drift car. I wrapped it myself. And it's the very first time I've ever wrapped anything. And it looks pretty fucking good from, you know, 20 feet. And it looks great in pictures, and it looks great on cameras. So I'm happy with it. Could I have done it better if I did it again? Abso-fucking-lutely not, because I wouldn't do it again. The only other time I might wrap a car is if Michael decides to go with a similar color. I might help him wrap it, but I will not be doing it alone. And the only other thing is if Kaylin wanted me to wrap something like the Volkswagen or something, I would probably have to, but I would not be happy about it. I finished up everything on the interior, I think. At least I got the floorboard cleared, zip tied up the last few things. Michael showed up.
Yeah, after getting off work late, because we, got out of here in a rush and I just forgot stuff, so I couldn't really finish. I got most of it. It'll get done. It'll run today.
All right, so we've got the rear harness in. We just put the ECU or the engine harness in. Michael is getting the switches in. All right, we got an audience. Everyone came by to experience the first start.
Gotta just hit this in and hopefully it should start. Plot twist, he's selling it.
Keywords are hopefully, should, and if.
Who thinks it'll start on the first screen? You should have confidence in it. You built the harness.
Yeah, Max. Yeah. You were like trying to race, but he wasn't
happened?
on it.
I'm an idiot.
Huh?
I don't think it was tuned. But
Forgot the ground for the fucking switches.
Oh my god. Maybe we had to cut that off. But it fits pretty well.
These are JDM. There's actually, if you go to Thrashed YouTube channel, there's a tutorial on how to make tutorial. You can learn how to make this.
Michael, I don't want you to struggle. But your battery isn't.
Oh, you're a dick.
Oh, I thought you
I just
hooked
didn't
it
want
up.
to start like taking shit off and then like fucking spend more time.
No, I thought you hooked it up.
We're doing it tomorrow. Hey, where's...
Alright, hold on. Let me go up here. I want to.
Oh.
Alright.
Stop.
Oh, hey Michael, you didn't hook up your fuel lines.
That's right. Well, found out which one. Oh, and it went straight into the valley. Yeah, it's this one.
Oh. God. What?
True.
You literally held it for like 2 seconds.
No, I didn't even hit my start switch. That was the ECU switch.
Oh.
Who thinks is gonna start first try?
Everyone
just lost.
That doesn't count because
It does count.
You didn't hit the start
You
switch.
didn't turn the fake key.
True.
Fine.
So either you have like a pin just off on there, or I mean that would be where I would start, is just double checking that your start is fine there.
See, when I hit the start switch, it popped the ECU.
That's what I'm saying. I think you have it backwards. Like you have something mixed up on your connector. Since that's where everything is right now, like that's the one place where all of that stuff goes through, I would check there and make sure that everything's fine there. And then kind of backtrace.
Connector or there?
From
I
there.
know I did that correct.
I don't.
I do. I like before I put the pins in, I made sure.
And I did that 4 times with mine, and I still had fucking problems. So, like that's gonna
I'm
be.
just confused because there's only one start wire, right? And it's in the top of the plug. This one's in the top of the plug. That's it. There's only one wire going to the start.
I get that there's only one wire. I know how this works. I'm just there's maybe your orange wire. You have that fucking backwards.
This one.
Or yeah, I guess it's not orange on this. It smells like gas.
About a gallon and a half in the valley.
That's weird.
Remember that wire that I saw that was split for the VTCs?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably touching.
Stop what?
Paul was doing that shit on
Are you sure it's not on your board? It sounds like that's where it's arcing. Maybe you have something grounding out on the switch panel or the relay panel. I mean, I might just be hearing the fuse too, but
It just seems like it's loud, doesn't it?
yeah. Like lay under it.
Yeah, I will.
Pull your grounds off. Well, we could tell if it's something in the harness, like shorted out, or if it's just hooked up wrong, or
Relay.
yeah. So this will tell us. This will help us tell us if it's shorted to ground somewhere.
What does that sound? Is that fuse number 2?
Number 2.
That was 3.
That was 3. Might be just the noise that the chips make, maybe.
I've never heard that. Because go to number... Oh shit!
Huh.
This wire is like melted. But it's not the one that keeps... Oh. Oh yeah.
And put your grounds back on.
Can you do like one at a time?
No, just do them. Can you unplug the quick disconnect on the harness? Ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It popped.
Yeah.
So that's something on this side.
So you just undid that. So if that doesn't blow, then
Then
it's pretty much
it
leaning
could be,
more
it
towards
could
that.
be the ECU. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean. All right, ready?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So right now, Michael is. We've narrowed it down to the ECU connector side. With the ECU disconnected, it doesn't pop the fuse. Right now, what Michael's going to do is... That's the flathead. Right now, what Michael's going to do is he's going to disconnect the 2 wires that he had hooked up to power for the ECU. And we're going to narrow it down to each one, and then we'll trace those back and see where we're losing it. Michael didn't know that he shouldn't weld with the ECU like nearby, so it is a possibility that the ECU is shorted, but we're really hoping not. It doesn't pop the fuse when the ECU is disconnected though. We're down to the wire. We got 7 minutes. 7:53. 7 minutes till we're gonna be respectful. We've tracked it down to a single wire that is for sure an issue. It's part of the throttle position sensor. We're not exactly sure how it needs to be wired up. We're going to try to start it real quick with that wire disconnected. In theory, this should start it up into limp mode. which it should still start, which is big. If it starts with this, then we know that that has got to go straight to a ground, pretty much. Oh my god, dude, I just shit my pants. Hey, you've got misfire, like it's not, maybe those are backwards. Nope. The fuck was that?
Because with it seizing like that, it's like 180 out.
Yeah. Hey! Pull a plug. I bet you it's fucking hydraulics.
Oh yeah.
Soaked?
Yeah.
I bet you your cylinders are full.
Full fuel? So take them all out and just crank it.
Take them all out.
And they're probably full of fuel because you've got something on the injectors. They're probably staying on.
Or just so many failed attempts at starting it. And the pump will run the whole time.
Yeah, but the injectors, it shouldn't matter if the injectors are
It should
fine.
just prime.
It should just revert back to fuel.
Alright, so now we're running into an issue. The motor won't turn over as easy as when I first went to turn it over.
Demonstrate.
Yeah. I mean, he's fighting it and he's got some muscles.
Now Michael try it.
I'm gonna push it down. Yeah, that's. You told him about the wire that we think is ground.
Yeah.
So after that, once we got rid of that wire, hooked the rest up, now we're just having issues with it cranking. It won't crank it. It sounds like it's low voltage on the battery, but obviously, as you can tell, it's not turning over and there's no spark plugs, so there's absolutely no compression in the engine. And we're just trying to figure out, did I seize up the motor? Did I hydro lock it? What? Bash is looking like it's not gonna happen, but we'll see. We're gonna sleep on it tonight. Maybe think more in depth instead of being here pissed off that it doesn't start.
It could also be like in the transmission, something not aligned, like in the bell housing or the clutch or something like that, just causing it to bind. But if that's not it, it's not looking good. They pulled out all the spark plugs and they were wet. The cylinders were wet, but they weren't like there wasn't anything puddling in there.
Try to pull the trans out with it in the car and see if it turns over easier.
Turn it over with just by hand.
Yeah, I see what you're going there. Well, the starter's on the transmission on the Z32 trans, so yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it's not anywhere near the ending that we were hoping for, but we'll be back out here tomorrow and we'll be working on this thing all the way up to the last minute.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna do everything we can.
Yep. Do everything. figured this bitch out.
Rebuild.
Even if it calls for pulling the motor and checking the rods and shit. Yeah, I know. We have a week and a half. I know.
1, 2, 3.
We have 8 days.
Yeah, we have a week. I don't know. Look.
End it here.
Yeah, because it's disappointment.
Thrashed chassis. See you tomorrow.
And keep moving forward.
So you're looking for the formula for D?
Yeah, all the D.
I like what you did there. Formula D. Yeah.
No,
that-
you fuck. No.
Formula Drift. Formula D. Get it? Because it's a drift car?
That's why he said it.